Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Mission Snapshot. We are so thankful that you are here because we love to bring you stories from the front lines. Hannah is over there, and she's going to be dropping links down below. So if you have any comments or questions, you go ahead and drop them below as well, and she will get to them. And also keep an eye out for the information that Hannah is going to be placing there. So today is Thursday, so it's Veronica Day,
Yay.
Actually evening school, children's day too. So where are we going today?
So we have a few different stories about kids, and our first one is going to be from Madatukalam,
Okay.
from one of our evening schools.
Okay.
So we are excited to know that some of the schools have actually begun their full programs again. There are still lockdowns in India. It's not fully open, but some of the schools are able to start teaching because the government schools have opened up a bit in certain areas. So then the evening schools are able to start their programs and help kids. So in Madatukalam, they actually put together a VBS program for the kids.
How nice.
And so we wanted to share some pictures of what they did and some of the things they put together. And so it was just a fun time for the kids, and I think especially after such a long period without all of that contact, I meant a lot to the kids, I'm sure, to be able to go through such a special program.
Right. So here we have a group of children holding up all the pictures that they've colored, along with the fact that they're with the VBS at Madatukalam. And here...
So this is just showcasing some of the arts and crafts that they do. As we know, VBS loves arts and crafts, right? Like that's a big part of it. So they made a little flower in a pot and a few other things. And so it's just fun to see their creativity and the things that they're able to put together.
And in this one,
we have a king, apparently. Yeah, so they're just having fun, made a crown and a little scepter, and yeah, so it's just fun to see them smiling and enjoying the time.
It's been a long time that they've had to close down, and so it's great to see their smiling faces again. It's been, we've missed that a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, it was just fun to see an update there and see that some of our schools are able to get back to the tutoring and a full program instead of just helping with food.
Right. And so just for explanation for our viewers, just like here in the United States, the epidemic is hitting different parts of India differently.
Yes.
So in the larger cities, they're still...
It's really bad.
Closed down. But out in the country, they've been able to relax the restrictions a little bit. So I didn't want our viewers to think that we're putting the kids at danger. It's just how they're releasing in different at different times in the country. Yeah.
And it, like I said, it is just some of the schools because the schools in the larger areas, they are still locked down and can't do as much. So it's they're doing everything they can to follow the laws of the land and what is available to them. And so just a few of the schools that we know of so far are able to do everything.
Right. Okay. So that's a great update, one that we love to see. And so now we have some stories.
Yeah, so we found some other stories. And I know Christina normally talks about our Bible workers, but we actually found some stories that were very encouraging and showing us how children are actually helping the Bible workers spread the message.
Right.
And so we just wanted to share those a little bit because it's just encouraging to see.
Yeah.
So the first two stories that I'm going to talk about are from the North Bengal area, which is, I think, what was spoken about on Tuesday. And so this first one, we have a Bible worker, I believe her name is Promila, and she had kind of struggled. One of the villages near her, she had been trying to kind of make friends and make some connections so that she could talk and maybe do Bible studies with people. But she wasn't really making any connections. It was very hard. No one really wanted to open their doors to her.
Right.
But when the lockdown started and the kids could no longer go to school, she realized, well, there's all these kids just sitting around.
Right.
And she knew that she could teach them something. And so she went and offered to teach them for free, like not charging anything, just, hey, can I help your kids learn some things? And so she taught them some songs and Bible verses and, some whatever she knew to teach, and kind of helped them. And as the kids got to know her, then the parents were like, oh, well, maybe she's not so bad. And, it made her more friendly and to the people in the village. Right. It made her seem more, I can't think of the word at the moment, but anyways, just, someone that they could connect with. Right. She wasn't scary anymore. Right. She wasn't this new scary person. And so being able to reach out to the kids allowed her to then reach out to the parents and the others in the village, and they've opened their doors to her. So that's an impromptu evening school. Yeah, exactly. That's basically what she did, is, just kind of followed the lead of the evening schools and said, well, I can do that for them. Yeah, that's really neat. I'm so glad. Yeah, so that's really cool that she was able to do that. And then our next story, so it's actually from a Bible worker who was speaking with a family in one of the villages that he normally goes to, and they were just kind of talking, and the mother of the family was actually telling our Bible worker that, her kids actually go to the Adventist, there is an Adventist school, not just an evening school, there's an actual Adventist school near the village. And she sends her boy to that school, and she was just explaining how there's a huge difference that she has seen, not just in his character, but in the curriculum that he's given. The focus of the teachers is just a much higher, better education system at the Adventist school than at the government schools. Wow. And she was just very impressed with the difference between the two school systems. And so she was just praising that, and I just thought that was a neat story to add as well, because it's it's always lovely to hear that something that we're trying to do, and our first goal, of course, is to help them know God, but education is important, curriculum is important, so to know that the school is doing a good job, that was really neat. Right. So we've heard stories on our visits over to India that in some of the government schools, not all of them, but in some, the teachers show up or they don't show up on any given day, depending upon how the teacher is feeling or what may be happening in the teacher's life. So many times the students go to school, but that doesn't mean they're learning. They could be sitting in a building by themselves and teachers never show up. Right. I think that happens a lot more frequently when you are in the lower caste areas of India, but it doesn't really matter where it happens or where these kids come from. They need an education. They need they need help, and that's the blessing of the Adventist education and the evening schools, because our Bible workers and teachers take it very seriously. Yes. And so they are always there. Yeah. And so every time the children go, someone's there to help them. Someone's there to help them. Absolutely. I think it's a difference between viewing your duty or your job as a mission versus just a job. You know? And I think that's the wonderful thing about being able to work in a position where it's a mission. Yeah. And you have the heart for the mission. And so, of course, that's important. And then you're not going to make excuses. Right. Hopefully you don't push yourself to the point where you really are sick, but at the same time, you're going to put more into it because it's your mission. Right. And so if we're going to drop a link down below to our evening school page, because if you are supportive of good, solid Bible Christian education, and you would like to partner with us, there are other ways that they can help as well, our viewers. And so we're going to drop that link down below, and you'll have all the information on the various ways that you can get involved with it. So I just wanted to say that before we go on. No, absolutely. That's, check into that. So that'd be awesome if you help out a little bit more. So our next story is actually, we're going to change to a different location. I believe this is Dharmapuri. See, I just slaughter words. I'm sorry. That's all right. Dharmapuri. Right. So this is also a Bible worker who saw a need with children. So obviously during this lockdown time, I think all of us have experienced a little bit too much Zoom. Yeah, that's right. And not Zumba, but Zoom. And
Yes.
but it is a great aid to a
Right.
lot of people. I mean, it has been amazing to see how that has worked. And so this Bible worker saw that as a tool to reach kids and said, you know, what can I do? These kids are sitting home alone. They have nothing to do, nowhere to go. How can I help? And so the Bible worker put together the Zoom classes and did like skits over Zoom and, you know, kind of like a VBS program via Zoom and just to entertain them and give them a good message and help them. And so it was really a brilliant idea, I think, for him to use it in that way and not just a strict business meeting, but a way to, you know, to reach out and help the kids in the village as well.
So the kids are not just sitting there either, like our first story. This is a way for them to hear about Jesus in ways that they may not, in a way that's engaging for them because they don't go on Zoom meetings, so this would be new for them.
Yeah, so it's a new experience. They're learning new things, so it kind of keeps them interested because they're like, oh, what is he talking about? I haven't heard these things before. And you know, it's all biblical-based skits and stories and things that he's doing for them. And so, it's very encouraging to see the ingenuity of our Bible workers and how they use all of their tools available to them.
That's right. They really do. They use all the tools. So I have a story.
Oh, good.
That I want to share with you, speaking of using tools.
Yes.
And children. Okay. So this Bible worker's name is Romani, and she's in the E Road area. And she has a way of being able to enter new villages, like you were talking about in your first story.
Yeah.
So she carries with her a big bag of flour. And she goes up to doors, knocks on the doors, and when the person answers, she says, "May I borrow your kitchen?" And so they're surprised, but they say yes. And she goes into her kitchen and she gathers all the children that she can find, and she uses this tool, cookie cutter, to make rose cookies.
Oh, neat.
So she has the children help her. They mix up the batter, and she uses her one little tool, and she makes rose cookies that look like this.
Oh, those look delicious.
Yes. And so when she's done, by now she's had a whole lot of kids that are coming. And she hands the cookies out for free. She doesn't ask for any money or anything. And so as soon as one kid gets a cookie, that child runs out to find all of his or her friends and says, "Come, cookies.
Cookies.
Free
cookies.
Free cookies." And then the parents are watching and saying, "Where are all the children going?"
The whole village is running in one direction.
And so the parents come by, and then when they're all happily eating cookies and chatting, then Romani talks to them and asks if they have prayer requests or ways that she can be of help. And that's how she uses the children to be able to reach the hearts of everyone.
Right.
As she's telling by just saying, "May I borrow your kitchen?"
That's amazing. I can't picture that happening here.
No.
If someone came to your door and said, "Can I use your kitchen?"
That's right.
I mean, you know, I think the only thing people ever ask is, "Can I borrow your phone?" And even that isn't happening anymore because everyone has a cell phone. But,
I know, yeah.
That would just be, but it's amazing that she even thought to do something like that, you know, that obviously cookies are going to attract attention of children.
That's right.
And especially in some of these villages, you have to imagine that some of them may not have ever had anything like that before.
Right.
Or at least not frequently at all, you know. That's not something they get.
Exactly. And so, you know, just reiterating what you mentioned is that the Bible workers, within the limits of the closures and whatnot, they use whatever they can put their hands on that will help them to share the gospel.
Yes.
And children help so much by breaking down barriers that would otherwise be there. And so we're really thankful for all the children who are welcoming to our Bible workers.
Yeah. No, I think that, you know, God knew that in showing us examples and Jesus telling us, suffer the little children to come to
Yes.
me, because not only are they easy to talk to, even when you go into villages and they've never seen people like you before, and
Yeah.
they're afraid, but it doesn't take long before they
Right.
are, they love you and they're just all
Right.
over you.
Right.
And they also learn,
Yeah.
they are eager to learn anything you have to teach them. And so,
Yeah.
as soon as they learn it, then they want to go and share.
That's right.
Mommy, Daddy, this person told me this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's wonderful.
It is. And so if you're interested in partnering with us and helping the Bible workers to do what they do and going from
Yes.
village to village, we'll drop a link down below to the Bible worker page so that you have all that information. So thank you for bringing us a
welcome.
story. And thank you for
Yes.
letting me tell the story, because
Absolutely.
I love
Thank
this
you.
story.
I love it too. It's great. I'm glad we could finally share it.
Yeah, I know. And we thank you for joining us. And if you would like to learn more about Jesus for Asia and the other projects that we have, I invite you to go to our website, jesusforasia.org. And here you will see the list of more than 60 projects that we have, one of which I am sure will resonate with you. And while you're looking around, I invite you to pray over the projects that you see, because we know prayer works, and we know that prayer is vital to the work in sharing Jesus with others. If you are watching this on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe to our channel. If you are watching this on Facebook, I invite you to like our page, and that way you'll get notification of when our videos go up, so that you can join us time and time again in hearing about these wonderful stories. So one last thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being here. This has been your Mission Snapshot.